Yes, let's grab, you can even get a block and a bolster, a small one and a big one. All right, let's start our 4 o'clock class. I'm still waiting for someone, but maybe they're not coming, so we're gonna start right ahead. So we will work on the neck and the hips today mainly. So let's start sitting or laying down if you prefer for a short centeredness meditation or contemplation of your breath, whatever you want to call it, just simply to get and dwell in our bodies, away from the world and from any doing, and just simply dropping into being. So we can lift up the spine or do a gentle stretch of the neck or shoulders. Start to loosen the muscles of the jaw and relax your gaze. And bring the gaze down towards your nose. And start to focus and center into your breath, using the breath as a guide to take you into your body. Noticing the pathway of the breath, how it starts at the tips of the nostrils, and how it travels all the way through the back of the throat, into the lungs, expanding, filling up your lungs. And hold the space here, creating some expansion in the lungs. And when you're ready, let that breath be expelled out. Maybe starting to use a little bit of navel enhancement to help the breath come out. And continue like this, natural pace, and maybe you add the holds just to kind of center your energy into the lungs to expand the lungs. When we expand the breath, we also expand the heart, we expand the mind. So using the breath as a tool to get into more clarity, more space, more understanding, and more ability to communicate with our own body. If it's more comfortable to lay down for this, that's okay. You can simply lay down on your back. Just to allow that spine to lengthen and to feel that charge drawing up the spine and down. Just allowing that breath to travel in your body more easily. Sometimes the breath is a little itchy, a little sporadic, a little uneven. That's okay. You just observe and let it be. And you will gradually tend to change. As you sit still and acknowledge this process, it will tend to get better for you. So send your breath some good thoughts. Don't blame it for being erratic or sporadic or not deep enough, because then it's going to get worse, not better, right? Like this, it reminds me of this Emoto experiments when he was putting water to freeze. He would send positive energy to some of the containers, and to others very negative thoughts, and thoughts of negativity and thoughts of, putting down, judging, blaming, condemning, whatever is negative. And he would see a difference in the ice shapes that they would form. So we want to do the same with our breath and with our body. We want to send it positive affirmation, positive feedback, loving, gentle, kind thoughts, so the body can grow and prosper and function well. All right. Time to create an intention for your practice. Make it simple and easy so you can fulfill it. You can be simply be with your breath and listen to your body, or whatever else you may wish today. So let's start by gently moving from your sitting or laying down posture. If you're sitting, you are okay right there. We're gonna work with the neck and at the same time with the vagus nerve, because we all need a little bit more calming these days. All right, so we're gonna start sitting up, and right hand, we can sit on the small bolster if we need to. And we can either bring the right hand behind the back, crossing at your waist, or underneath the right glutes, pressing the palm forward like that. This will make the spine nice and tall and active, and it will lengthen the arm and align the shoulders. And now we'll start to bring the left ear towards the left shoulder. So allow that ear to be just gently dropped. We're not going to force the pose. We're going to let the gravity help us along, creating the pose gradually. And left hand can travel to the right knee. Take that arm nice and long and observe that. Then bring your attention to the deepest sensation in this area of the body. And also bring the energy of the breath to that same area that feels more tight, condensed, stressed, or tensed, whatever that sensation may be. It will give you feedback for sure. And we're just going to center our attention in that area. And with each breath in, we energize and bring in openness, freedom, and space, and nourishment from the breath. So this area will get a chance to grow, expand, and open. And as we exhale, we release any negativity from this area. Any tension, stress, tightness, contraction, whatever you find there, let it go. Negative emotions, blockages. Let's bring the left hand to grab the middle of the upper arm. And just feel here that little intention, helping that arm stay strong and stable. The gentle pull. The vagus nerve, it's a good area to work on for stress relief, for slowing down, for calming the nervous system, increasing the parasympathetic response, which is the rest and digest mode, and also before going to sleep. And now bring the chin towards that left shoulder. Then let's go ahead and inhale and look up to the right corner. And then exhale down to the left. So we're gonna slide a little bit into those cervical vertebrae. Up to the right, down to the left, very gentle, very smooth movement. Don't force anything. Just give those cervical vertebrae a chance to breathe and lubricate and move. And exhale. Bring it down to center and release the arm. And come back. Let's check with this arm and let's shake it down a little bit. It's been a little stiff, a little tight maybe in this position. Just move the energy and take a moment and feel the difference. It's coming back. All right, now let's do the other side. Left hand underneath the glutes on the left side. And we'll drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Keep the spine aligned, shoulder and hip in the same line. And drop the ear gently and comfortably. Close the eyes and drop within. Travel with your breath inside of your body. And then guide this breath to go to the areas that need your attention right now. The base of the neck, the base of the skull. Wherever you feel that deepest sensation, you want to be with it. You don't want to run away from it. You don't want to hide from it. You want to be present right there to help it change. So what we don't face, it's going to bite us in the behind later, right? So we're going to be with it. Face it, even if it's a little bit uncomfortable, but don't force it though. And bring that right hand over to the left knee if you'd like, or grab your right foot into the hand and squeeze your foot. That's also a good thing to do to activate some meridians in the foot. Keep the spine tall, and even if you lean the head just a half millimeter, doesn't matter. You're still keeping the spine as tall as you can, and let the side of the neck do what it can. Breathing into those points of tension, of resistance. We want to penetrate with the breath, the keen energy of the breath, and our precise attention. We're going to go to that area and create a change. This area, it's most common for holding tension and stress and negative emotions. It also has to carry the weight of the head all day long. So the neck gets really overworked from our postures too. So we need to give it full attention at least every so often. Ideally every day. So you can do this at your desk too. You can cross your leg if you're on a chair, cross the leg in front of you. So you have this half of a pigeon pose sitting. Grab the foot with the right hand and then drop your ear to the right, just like we're doing now. So take little breaks in your day. Just doesn't have to be long. It can be a minute or two. And you'll feel better right away. All right, now let's add some movement. As you inhale, look up to the right, using our eyes without peripheral vision, and exhale down to the left. Inhale right, exhale left. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Bring that right hand to grab the tricep muscle and hold for a couple more breaths. And inhale, release. Bring it back gently. Now let's bring the legs out to reawaken them and give them a nice massage. So come down with your hands and just really slide your hands on the outside of the legs, like you're sweeping your legs with your gentle hands. Just moving the energy, sweeping it out to the ankles and out from the hips. And now on top of the legs, sweep. We're smoothing up the energy, we're calming the energy. And then the spleen, we gotta go a little bit more intense because the spleen always needs to be activated. We can just tap the inner meridian of the legs. All right, now grab a hold of your ankles with a hand and circle around your ankles to increase this meridian flow, activate these lower meridians of the spleen and liver and bladder. We're running through all of them as we slide here. And then point your feet and then flex them. And keep pressing about 4 fingers width above your ankle bone and on the inside of the ankle a little bit. Up and in below the ankle bone. So press right there. And take some deep breaths as you press, inhaling as you press and exhaling as you release the hold. 2 more, inhale as you push into the body and exhale as you relax. 1 more time. And release. Now keep the legs out there. We're going to work on 2 other meridians in the body. This is for tension and tension headaches. We're going to squeeze the fold between the index and thumb. Put pressure right there in that V crease you find. And as we decrease the tension, of course, that would calm the system as well. So pressure and breathe in, release and breathe out. You can do up to 10 of these. We're gonna do 3 or 4 just to experiment. And then we'll do the other side. Deepen the breath. And if it's tense right there and it kind of hurts when you press, it means you have a lot of tension in the head and neck area and you're releasing it. So it's a good thing. Then we want to work a little bit more on the heart. So the heart it ends in the little finger here. So let's actually sweep the heart meridian from the under the arm to your whole palm so you can cover more surface. These meridians are portrayed in books like a little thin line, but they're actually bigger than that. So if we use the palm, we get more energy flowing. And sweep down your little finger and then stay there and squeeze your little finger in all directions. Give it a little massage, activate a little bit more to send this energy of activation to the heart. And then you can just pull a few times. Okay. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Sweep from the side of the arm, from the lymphatic system here in your armpit, all the way to the little finger. 3 or 4 times. You can do 11 sweeps like that or more. And then pick up your finger and squeeze and twist. And then pull a few times. All right. Then there's 2 other points that's going to relax the body. This one works on the digestive system on the inside. This one works on the lung meridian to help us breathe better, so that way you also relax. This you can do also when you feel tense and uptight and you're too overworked and you need to go to sleep. You can press these meridians to help you wind down. So the top one is for the lungs. It's going to be right above the wrist bone, right in the center. It's really easy to find. The other on the inside is 3 fingers from the wrist. It's that same point that we use for seasickness. And it's also for digestive intestinal issues. So, but it will help with seasickness as well. So the way to press them both, you're gonna put your thumb on the outside in the middle of the wrist. And the other part, the 2 fingers are gonna press on the other point. So you can get them both activated at the same time. So again, when you put pressure, you want to inhale. And when you release the pressure, you exhale. Like you're sending it an impulse of energy. Okay. So it's here on the outside, in the middle of the wrist, and on the inside, it's about here. Not where you take your pulse, but right in the middle. You guys got it? Ah, yes, and on to the other side. And this one you can also massage up and down. It's a thick tendon and it may be really sore anyway, so you can also help it release, just doing it right in the middle. And of course, it's going to activate the lung, but it's going to be good for the tendons that go into the carpal area as well. Carpal means fingers, of course, and it goes to different channels to all different fingers. So we're helping our ability to type and do other things. Keep our hands active. So do this one 2 more breaths. All right, so the other one I'll show you before we continue is called the Valium point. This is really good again to make you relax like you just took Valium. It's in the antecubital area, right above where you would draw blood. You go over to the outside that bone and then up a little bit, right here. And it's gonna be a little bit tender. So you can use your thumb to do it. I was just showing you. And you just even keep it bent. It doesn't matter how you hold it. And it goes to the heart, and it's going to slow down the heart rate even. You got it. It's going to calm down the nervous system. And you can do both sides. Take some deep breath in there as you press, and as you exhale, release. Use that same technique with the breath in and out. You suddenly feel that you are just peaceful and calm. And then you can do the other side. And the other one, if you actually wake up from sleep and you have trouble going back to sleep, it's called the vagus nerve smoothie, because you're smoothing the vagus nerve, which brings you to calmness. You put one hand supporting your neck like a V, and then the other hand on your cheek. So you'll be like on your pillow here. So one hand supports your cheek on the pillow and one hand supports your neck. And when you feel this, your vagus nerve is going to send impulse of relaxation to the brain through all the system of the vagus nerve that goes all the way down to the belly. So it's going to tell it to wind down and relax. So that's a good one if you wake up. And then you can do the other side. It doesn't matter which side you do. If you keep tossing and turning, you might want to do both sides, and that will help. Okay, so that's really easy. And it kind of is like intuitive, because like, yeah, when I go to sleep, I go like this, like little babies. All right, let's go on to move our spine a little bit before the next pose. We're gonna do a gentle cat-cow. So let's get on our hands and knees. We're gonna really follow the movement from the tailbone. Lift the tailbone, drop the belly, sink the chest, lift the upper body. And then as you exhale, tuck the tailbone under, just follow the movement of the spine, lifting up into the middle of the spine, dropping the head, just really feeling your vertebrae as much as you can, 3 at a time or 4 or 1 by 1. Eventually we can follow them 1 by 1 after we get more in tune with our body. This activates all the chakras, it activates the hormonal system, it brings energy into the body. And it's a balanced, positive, good energy. We're gonna lean forward a bit into the hands a little bit more. And then as you exhale, around the spine and travel back a little bit, like you're dropping the hips a little bit further back. And then inhale, go forward again. Lift the chest, lift the head and neck. And exhale, rounding and traveling back. As close to the heels of you as you want. And travel forward as far as is comfortable. Slide back into the cat and then back to the heels. 3 more just like that. Cat-cow, as you can tell, when you lift the head and we open up the front, it's also going to activate the vagus nerve. All right, sit back on the heels after this one. Let's count the energy of our front body. So I'm going to bring the right hand to the belly and left hand to the center of the heart. We're going to breathe here 3 times. Supporting our heart, our energy center, increasing the connection with the body. Deep breath in. Exhale, relax. Inhale, feel your body energizing, opening, expanding. And exhaling, releasing any stagnation, any negativity, anything that doesn't serve you right now. One more breath. Hold it at the top. Feel the lungs expanding, floating. And exhale, let it slowly back down. And now let's do one more exercise for the lung. So the lung comes from the right above your lung here. Then it goes down the arm to the big finger to your thumb. So let's move off the lung meridian. So we can breathe a little better. And then 3 times on the other side. So from above your breast here to the side and down on the outside of the arm. All right. And after this one, we're gonna sit back on our heels with the toes under. Gonna put a little bit of weight on the toes with the hands down on the floor. We're gonna stretch back 3 or 4 times to open up the toes. All right, now we will come on the knees. Align the knees with the hips. And hands to the side. Inhale, we're gonna bring the arms up and press back a little bit, but without forcing. Keep the whole body together. You're not pressing against the hips. You're gonna let the body slide back a little bit until you feel this engaging and opening, these hip flexors. And then inhale, bring it back to something, maybe a very small movement. Exhale, drop it back as far as you can without trying to bend. You're keeping the whole body long. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, sliding back a bit, feeling those quads engage, especially the hip flexors and the back of the body, the glutes. Inhale up. Exhale, lean back one more time. And reach back up. Okay, now we got those a little bit activated. Now we're gonna help them a little more. Bring the right foot forward. And make sure your left knee is comfortable with a nice little cushion. Maybe you need a blanket under your knee. And the right foot is forward in a lunge. Hands on the floor, see where you are here. And make sure the left knee is comfortable and then that thigh opens up gently. We're gonna keep our attention to that left side. And then as we exhale, we're gonna slide back and travel into the back of the front leg. So we're gonna do a few moving from one to the other. And then we're gonna stabilize. Exhale, bring it forward again, drop into that hip. Inhale, bring it back. Activate the right leg, the back of the right leg. Inhale, activate the front of the left leg. Just very gentle, very smooth. One more, and then we will stop. We're gonna stop in that lunge. Find a good place where you can be still, or even move a little bit side to side in the hip to find your edge, to find what is the best position to hold, where the hips are aligned and the hip flexors are opening and stretching. The psoas is lengthening. The quadriceps are also opening and lengthening. So find your way here. Stay on your hands or elbows, or get your bolster here to rest your elbows on, whatever feels good and natural to your body. So we're gonna spend a few good minutes here. Hip flexors are very prone to contraction and tightness because we stay in that flex position a long time when we work or drive or sit on the couch. So drop your attention within and have a one-on-one conversation with this area of your body. Just find out how it feels, how it's doing. Does it want to tell you anything? And listen, be a good friend to your hips. And you can do it very gently and use your bolster. You need a bolster. Good. Just breathe. And notice what releases first. Is it the top layer or the bottom layer next to the bone? Just notice and see different layers of sensation here. Just noticing what happens at a deeper level. Keep the breath steady. Gentle, calm breathing. And have those pauses if you'd like. And always remember to send the energy of the breath to the area you are activating or releasing. Stay there. Pause my pressure. I'm gonna pull in. Stay there. Just gonna use this. Yeah. All right, we're gonna switch to that forward one now. We're gonna extend the front leg, the right leg, and get into the back of that. So we'll transition, hips back, and we're gonna get into this right front back area. So here again, use your blocks on the outside of the foot to hang on to. And go back as far as you want. You can be just a little bit. You can even have the knee bent a bit, and then it's gonna get into position in a little bit. So see how much activation you need here before you find your edge. Maybe go side to side and explore a little bit. Allowing this hamstring, Achilles tendon to lengthen. Also the back meridians of the leg, including the sciatic nerve. The pelvic floor attachments get a stretch. It's gonna be a great benefit to the energy in the legs. You can point and flex the toes here if you want, or squeeze your toes together, working on opening up the energy of the toes. If you want to play with that, you can. Actually, this tendon is very difficult to stretch. It's very thick. It's the thickest, strongest tendon in the body. But because it's so thick and strong, it can injure pretty easily and it's hard to heal. So we always want to stretch it safely. You can even massage it. You can massage your leg as you sit here, or just sweep energy down the leg. Just look at your legs and be grateful for your legs. Your right leg right now. Your toes, these feet, they've been serving you forever, walking you on earth. Just give them some love. All right, now we'll transition to pigeon pose on this side. So we're gonna bring this right foot to the left edge of the mat. Drop the knee down and then walk your hands forward. Right knee is bent, left knee drops on the floor. And stretch here. If you need a block under your right hip, that's good. And walk your hips side to side a little bit, see if they need to be repositioned, and find that one place where you can hold. Maybe your right heel presses against your left hip flexors here. That can be a good point if you're there. If not, don't force it. But if you're leaning onto that, it's like giving a massage to your hip flexors. And take those long, deep breaths to nourish the body. Expand the lungs, and then send that expansive, open, charged energy to the right hip. In that piriformis, TFL, pathway for the sciatic nerve, opening the side of the right hip. Take a deep breath in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath for 2, 3, 4. And exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. And continue with the next cycle. 4, 4, 6, 2. Inhale 4, pause 4, exhale 6. Pause 2 and start again. And sending more energy to the left side by walking the hands to the right edge of the mat. So walk the hands towards your right knee to the right edge of the mat. So we're gonna open this left side a bit more. Breathe into the side body now. From the left hip to the rib cage. From the rib cage to the armpit. All the way through the inside of the arm on that left side. Inhale, bring it back to center, slide the hands back, and bring the right leg back. Sit back into a child's pose for a moment to align the hips again before we do the other side. One more deep breath. And inhale now, bring the left foot forward to open that right side. So come to your position, bring that right knee into a soft spot, and walk your hips side to side, finding that point where you want to hold. Reconnect with the breath. Make sure you don't go too far into the pose. That takes your breath away. You don't want to stay connected with the breath, with the rhythm. Listening to your body and how far you can go. It doesn't have to look like anything in particular. It just has to be your pose that your body loves right now. Deepen and lengthen the breaths, lengthen the exhalation to release that tension and that stress and those stored emotion we hold in the hips. As women, we learn to hold babies in between our hips and then we hold everything else. So it's good to know that this is a deep release here and allow it to be that way. And we may just need to practice this one for a long time, many days, to release all that luggage we stored that we didn't even know that we did. Things we could not agree with, things we could not process, things we didn't like, things we are holding in. Everything like that gets stored in the body. And the body becomes a memory bank of our past. And some things are good, but most of the things are not so good. It's okay to let go of the past. It's in the past, let it go. Through the out breath. Release your body, unleash yourself, clear the mind. That tightness and that contraction is that negative energy we stored unnecessarily. So let it go. And if you are yawn in these poses, it doesn't mean you're sleepy. It means you're releasing negative energy. So that's a good thing. And psoas is the longest muscle in the body. It connects from the third thoracic vertebrae down to the knee. So we're stretching that big old muscle that holds a lot of memory because it's been with us since day one. And he doesn't even know what to do with that stuff that he stores. Now he knows that he needs to release it, so that's a good thing. All right, and let's switch it to the left back leg. So slide your hips back and your hands back a bit. You take a break and drink a lot of water. That's always good because water is going to flush those energies out. It's going to lubricate and reorganize the energies that are left. We always need water to become smooth, to become flowing. So you can stay here, wherever you are. You don't have to bend too much or stretch too much. And if you find your edge, you can massage this leg as you're sitting here. The lower legs never get a good massage, so take care of your lower legs. They always get less circulation, or they get too much pull of blood when we sit too much and the energy doesn't flow. So help your legs, massage them, give them some love. We'll stay there another minute. So take your time. Allowing the thoughts to come and pass you by. Come back to the present moment, to the sensation. And even though it's challenging or it doesn't feel so great, you breathe through it and you get to the other side. All right. And we'll gently transition that leg into the pigeon, walk it out to the right side of the mat. And just lengthen that right leg back. And come forward with your arms and chest, folding over that bent knee. And take your time here to find your position. Maybe you want to wobble the hips side to side. Stabilize that foot, lengthen through the toes. And if your left heel presses into the hip flexors on the right, that's a very good place to be. Connect your breath with a sensation. Send the energy, the prana, to that area that's more tense or intense right now. Softening, smoothing off the energies in this left hip. Releasing what is not needed. And breathing to everything that arises, any memories, any negative emotions, anything you're holding on to, let it go, breathe it out. So you can liberate your body, your hips, and free your emotions. They only want to be free, so let them be free, let them go. As humans, we have this attachment. We like to hang on to things and keep them forever and attach to them in all kinds of ways. And without even knowing, we attach even to the negative aspects, like the negative emotions. And we kind of get used to them being around and living in our body. And we don't know they should not be there. So if you feel them coming up, just tell them goodbye and let them go. They've been with you forever, maybe, but that's okay. They don't have to be forevermore. It's okay for them to leave. And it's okay for you to let them go. So you can be free and they can be free. And now walk the hands to the left. Opening the right side of the rib cage and the armpits, the hip. The sides of the body always have the least amount of energy. They get dark and shady and hidden and not nourished. Now it's a time to breathe into the side of the ribs, into the side of the hip and the armpit. Bring them some good energy so they can survive. They can thrive, not barely survive. The last minute here before Savasana. You guys been doing great. Had a beautiful practice where we opened up a lot of space and we released a lot of junk. Inhale now, gently walk it back to center. Slide your hands back and turn the legs forward and find your way into Shavasana. So getting your body to connect with the earth, touching the ground with the tips of your shoulder blades, with the back of the hips, back of the legs, and the back of the heels. Just really allow the body to release deeply into the earth. Let go of everything that comes up. Breathe it out. Breathe it out. Let the body process all the goodness we've been through in this practice. And I will read you a poem as you guys deeply relax. It's one that I wrote in June this year, maybe. Yeah. Rise up, divine presence. Remember who you are. Divine presence embodied in human existence. So your creator can have an experience of life through you. You came here to fall and to learn how to get up, to grow, to expand, to live, love, and evolve. The journey of life is our gift from our creator. The way we live and love, it's our gift back to him. He has been generous, offering us free will. Let's be equally generous by proving him we are to be trusted. Love, care, protect, and support each other and life on earth. Our dear planet needs each and every one. Rise up and overcome. Fall 1,000 times and get up 1,000 more. That's how we learn. Being afraid of failure is being afraid of learning. Anyone who's afraid to fail is afraid of life itself. So therefore, rise up and overcome. That's what you came here for. Don't ever hesitate. Just rise up, smile, and there you are. Recreated, reborn again. Rise up and conquer life. It's the law of the living. It's the law of the living. Don't be dead alive. Do not be walk this way on planet Earth. Rise up and overcome. That's what you're meant to do. Let your whole being take in those words of empowerment, of strength, invincibility, our resilience, our love, our compassion. Bring them all together because we are humans and we have all kinds of emotions. And they all come and go and they change all the time. But we always want to hold on to the ones that are good for us. So deep in the breath, lift up the arms overhead. Stretch your body, energize from head to toes. Fill up the lungs. And start to move side to side, maybe. Good. And come to your right side, just going side to side one more time, maybe. Just feeling your low back. Move your toes, move your fingers, rub them together. See what feels good before you get up. All right, we're back up straight again. Let's check our posture. Let's check our energy. See how you feel. Bring some energy into the hands. And rub your fingernails too to strengthen the energy in the ends of the meridians. And bring this energy to your face. Cup your face into your hands like it's in a heart. And breathe in and out. One more time. This is another soothing hug you can give yourself, and if you're tense, tired, stressed. And then bring the hands to the heart. And bring them into prayer pose. Namaste, dear ones. Thank you for joining me today. Lovely to practice with you. Thank you for coming. Have a good night and drink a lot of water. I'm going to stop and drink my bottle as well. Yep. And I want to remind you about a beautiful event coming in St. Louis. It's a yoga bliss event in August. Sorry. Me and Tori are going to be in that event doing some practices. Some other great teachers, but the organizer of the event, she is local from Augusta. Then she owns the Harijiwan in Augusta. This event, so it's very beautiful. The weekend of the 11th to the 13th of August. So that. Where is it going to be? In Augusta, at the Rain Cultural Center, right in Augusta. And it's a weekend event? It's a weekend, yeah. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.